Hello friends, welcome to FoxuTech. Today we're going to see another important topic in the current market, so which is nothing but Crossplane. We'll see that one by one about this tool and what is about, and also how it can be used, right? So why we pick this tool? So first of all, as this tool looks like a promising, and also with the gitops manner, this is more useful for the everyone. So we thought like this tool will be so useful in the future. So it's good to learn from a scratch. So we can gain more knowledge on that, and that may help us to become an expert on this tool, right? All right, let's jump into the video. So first thing, so before we start, so we like to discuss about infrastructure as a code. So we need to know about how this has been evolved for years and what is the current status and what will be the next status or state, right? So if you speak about the infrastructure, so which is nothing but you may need to provision a clusters, you may need to provision a VM, database, or anything on the cloud, or it can be on premises anywhere, right? So if you see from the starting, so earlier days, we need to request to the teams, and this has to be provisioned by the system admin team, or there will be an infrastructure team. They have to provision us and they have to hand over to the teams, right? So that was a big task earlier, and that takes days to complete it. So I don't want to go a little back, but I'm just covering within a 10 years. So this was the case. Then it was improved with something called like a OpenStack was came to the market, but that was looks somewhat promising, and but that didn't evolved much, and it's how went out of the market, right? So parallelly, when the OpenStack was came, so we have parallelly we were started exploring a microservices with a Docker, and also Kubernetes was initiated, right? So with that, we were started exploring the infrastructure and started moving the application from a native monolithic to microservices. But that is not robust, and it's been a 6+ years. Still, we are moving towards the microservices, and most of the team still be on that line, right? Okay, so also, so the infrastructure also try to adopt that manner, but there is lot of challenges was there. Then there was a new tools are coming up. So if you ask about the tools, so it's like a cloud-based tools were evolved. So AWS was came with the CloudFormation, and Azure was having a cloud template, and GC has its own tools. So people were again struggling as there is a individual tools for the clouds. So also parallelly what we did, so we were started exploring the configuration management tool to provision infrastructure, such as like Ansible, Puppet, Chef, and the CF engine. So those kind of tools we were explored and we were tried a lot, and then that was having lot of issues. Like there was a lot of limitation. Moreover, that could it achieved as much as possible, right? Then the main tool came, which is nothing but Terraform. So which is very much helped us to provision any kind of infrastructures, and that is evolved a lot for the years and years. If you see the growth of the Terraform, it was most of the companies started adopting very quickly because the tool was so robust and it was supporting multi-cloud, and that's added the advantage for Terraform, right? So that is how the infrastructure as cloud is evolved. But even though, right, so thinking about currently this Terraform is well enough, but what about the future, right? So future has to be like it cannot be a single tool, and there cannot be a lot of missing information, or that will be something. It has to be like people are looking for everything should be single point of truth, maybe, or maybe single place everything can be achieved, right? So what I mean by the single point, so we're going to see that. But what if I say like everything you can do from the single point, you no need to learn a new tools today, Terraform, and tomorrow some tools ABC or XYZ, some other tool comes, we no need to jump one another tool always, right? Let's say like everything can be combined with a single tool which you are already learning, and if it's aligned with that, that saves us a lot of time, right? So that's what we're gonna see today. And like a Terraform, there is another tool called Pulumi also. It's there for infrastructure, but we not going to cover those topics, but we're gonna move it to the Crossplane, right? So before I see the infrastructure as a tool, I just want to see the code. So, and also it's moreover suits for us in the DevOps, as there is always a business opportunity like us, there is always one another comes, right? So this is not the end tool, maybe so future maybe have with more tools, but it's good to learn about some tools at the initial stage. Maybe it's evolves, may not, but it's good to have a knowledge such similar this. I look like as a tool, it may, I'm not sure about that, but as a technology, what it's coming, bring it here, that may go with the multiple tools, and that concept will be help us to gain more knowledge in the for the future. All right, let's jump into that. So what is Crossplane? So Crossplane is, it's developed as a cloud Kubernetes add-on. So that's what I said, single place. As we are learning Kubernetes day by day and it's evolving day by day. So what if you can align with that and you can learn another tool which is not something very new and something it's correlated, right? So you are not no need to spend a n number of hours into the separate tool which already you are learning, and that won't break your learning path. As long you are learning some tool, along with that you can learn this also. So that's what we look promise, because Kubernetes is going to rule this world and already it's doing, but the future will be so robust. All right, so Crossplane is developed as a Kubernetes add-on and extends any Kubernetes cluster with a flexible to provision and manage the cloud infrastructure. So maybe there is a limitation here again. So you cannot provision or pretty much you can't do it on the on-premises, but cloud it's possible. But I can say already most of the teams or most of the organization moving towards cloud, and also along with the Kubernetes, cloud will be the next point what we are looking for, right? So that's what this is. Again, to think about the future, so this tool will be so helpful for you. Let's say like a Crossplane, how it's helpful, right? Let's say Crossplane can provision your infrastructure and also it can deploy your application along with the Kubernetes manifest. So simple, right? We are not learning something new tool everywhere, right? So that is how the Crossplane is looking promise for the future. We'll see that what are the advantage it's providing and how it's different from the Terraform. So before that, like to see the how it works. So whenever you are hitting anything on the from the kubectl, or you can run any Kubernetes commands, you can use micro Kubernetes or anything, or you can use tools like a gitops tools like argocd, or if you're using a Flex, you can just do the keep the manifest and just trigger the calls. It will reach the APIs, Kubernetes API, and then its Crossplane will have additionally, there will be a resource controller, and also there will be external resource controllers. So resource controllers mostly used for the cloud-based solutions, which is native cloud solutions. The external resource controller will be coming from the something called standalone SaaS solutions like Elastic. It's providing a solution for you. So those kind of things will be comes on the external one. So this is how the Crossplane look like. We'll see that moreover what all the other things are in the Crossplane. So there are the 4 things it's important in the Crossplane. First is a provider. So provider is nothing but where you are going to deploy it. Let's say like you want to provision AWS machines or AWS cluster or a Azure Kubernetes cluster or Azure database or anything, right? Or Google Cloud Kubernetes, anything you want to provision. So you need to say Crossplane, hey, this is a provider, and that provider will be taken forward and it goes. Even you can create a argocd instances or argocd applications. So there is a more number of providers are supported, right? And also, so once you define the provider, next is a managing resource. Now we have said that, hey, this is the cloud I'm going to use. say, let's say today you want to use AWS, tomorrow you want to use Azure. It's not so complicated. You can just add a one more provider and you can write a manifest for that and just apply it, right? So now, so you have set the providers and provider config once you created, then goes to the manage resource. Like you want to install any kind of resources. The resources mean here, like you want to create a storage account or you want to create a Kubernetes cluster, you want to create a database, anything, you can just manage with the resources. Next, configuration, and here there is a little complex topic here, but this is a second package for according to the Crossplane, and it has a composite reset definition and composition picture of Crossplane. Composite resource, so this will be defined as a Crossplane configuration, and it's a group of multiple resources together, allow you to create a very complex and business oriented infrastructures. So we're gonna see these two topics very detailed in the coming videos, but in this video this is just pretty much easy to be used. So next, why should we use Crossplane? So very first, as I said, as a developer friendly API, it's a one single point of Kubernetes, nothing else you need to learn. And that is pretty much easy. You don't need to spend hours of time or days to explain your developers, hey, this is our infrastructure and this is how you do those things. You don't need to do it. And it's so powerful. Why it's so? Because the Crossplane includes supports for the most of the powerful cloud technologies. So what are the cloud technologies it supports? AWS, Azure, GCP, and Alibaba, and also there is a very familiar one. And again, I cannot say like it's very much 100%, but it's still growing, all right? And it's some of the options, it's already production ready and you can use it and you can explore it, and also it can be used as much as possible. Another advantage here, it can be supports for your gitops manner. So if your organization already started exploring gitops, I would say like this is another tool to explore. Why? Because this tool help you to do for the even infrastructure will be maintained as a gitops manner. Rather, not only your application, now your infrastructure also can be maintained on the gitops. So next, what are the benefits by using the Crossplane? So very first one, so which is nothing but gitops. So you can just maintain your deployments or provisioning infrastructure as like your application deployments, and this can be tracked even with your any of the gitops tools like argocd or Flex. Next, reconciliation. So reconciliation is another important thing, not only for the application we are just maintaining the integrity here, but when you say like infrastructure, there is a cost also involved. So you can make sure none of your team or user team members just they are not provisioning any unnecessary resources or unnecessary infrastructure resources they are provisioning without properly approved or it's not maintained in the JIT. So with that, you can know like what are the resources available, and if there is someone created automatically gitops, if you integrate with the gitops, it's going to report you like out of sync or automatically with the Kubernetes way. You can just remove the unnecessary ones and you can maintain your state, right? Next, consistency. So it's as I said, you can just write a manifest and keep it with you, and tomorrow if there is a new team is coming and they are expecting any kind of a resource, you can just share the manifest as like a Terraform. It's not so different. So you can just share the file and they can just rename, change the variables, and they can use it. That's it. So there no need to spend hours of time to rewrite everything from a scratch. But Terraform, it will be a little complicated to understand someone coming new to the world. But the Kubernetes, if someone already working, if you share the manifest, so they will be easily understand the things, and that will be helpful to them very much. Right. So next, shifting left. So shifting left is the one we are currently most of the organization is adopting, and we know about it. And this Crossplane even support that. All right. So next, we'll see that how it's benefit from the Terraform versus Crossplane. So very first thing, so The very better explanation is YAML versus HCL. So which you are familiar with. So if you ask your developer, it will be so much complex for them to learn such a new things. But even JSON is supported on both the way. But even though, right, it's HCL is primarily used much, and your developer or team has to understand what is HCL and like HashiCorp language, and that is like a little complicated as they are already spending times on learning a YAML, and little complicated to learn, or maybe easy, but it's for the developer it will be additional burden to them as per my feeling. So but with YAML it can be very useful, easily done. State management, so Terraform handles very expert level, right? So you can just put the things and you can maintain it in anywhere, like a local or remote, you can maintain it. But still your cross plan, but if you want to put it in the YAML, so the state file, you need to go and check that state file on the respective locations. But if you want to quickly check what is my state and what is being maintained, so with the Crossplane, you can just quickly run the kubectl command and it can explore you that you can see the what is being expected and what is the current status. Rather, you want to go to the some location and download the file and viewing the file. It's not a complex, but I'm just telling how it's be in the both the tools. Reconciliation too. So best advantage for the Crossplane again. So Terraform, you can't, or there is no feature as per our knowledge. There is nothing like you can't say like on live, it won't show, hey, your infrastructure is out of sync until you try to apply the Terraform apply. You can't say, or it won't report you. There is your cluster is something like out of sync, which is nothing but your manifest got changed or your infrastructure code has changed. So Crossplane, it's a very much easy, but Terraform, it's until you apply, you cannot track what is happening. So imputable fields, this is again like a little complex topic to discuss both the way, but there is one thing you should know about it. Let's say like you want to change something on your Terraform file, some particular resource, and like a VPC, you want to change something. What happens? It automatically delete everything and it recreates. But Crossplane just apply the changes, it won't recreate anything. So that's a disadvantage. The best advantage between the both for the Crossplane. Next, private resource. So private resource is like another topic we want to discuss, like a Terraform. Yes, you can do that, but let's assume like you are doing everything via your laptop or something like out of bond network, right? So you want to manage everything through that. So if you have a different Terraform apply, you are running with the private networks, either you need to allow that particular exception, you need to say like SSH key or something you need to create and you need to validate. So those kind of things will be little complicated setup. You need to do that. Anyway, it's a one time, but again, right, it's on another work we have to do it. But with the with the Crossplane, let's assume like already you are running a Kubernetes and already your Crossplane is running on that. And you can just quickly apply the things via Crossplane. You don't need to say like anyone or any of your user to have access. They can just run the kubectl command or your CI/CD pipeline, or you can just put like a gitops manner, argocd or something. So they can take care of this kind of changes. So private resource will be handled will be very much better in the Crossplane, but Terraform again you need to have a little more extra configurations. Not only that, so along with that, so gitops manner, so you can just as I said, like you can enable the private resource or anything with the gitops, and it can be visualized very better, and you can manage everything the kubectl things, and that is like a gitops way. Like argocd will be helpful that note. And infrastructure view, so there is no view, or there is no, you can't visualize your resources, or together you can't see whatever the resource you have until you log into respective the portal. So you can't see anything on the in Terraform, right? But when you have like a Crossplane with argocd or flex 3d, there will be a fancy UI, and that UI shows what are the resources you have and what is the current status, how many resources running, everything you can track with the argocd UI, right? So these are the benefits, and this is a little bit difference between the Terraform and Crossplane as per my understanding. So let's see that. So next, there is still areas to focus for the Crossplane. So what are the area to focus? Providers. So still they are lagging beyond lot of resources, I can say, not the providers, but as long they are providing AWS and Azure or GCE, so still they are beyond something like they are missing with a lot of features. Terraform is outstanding on that still now, but Crossplane has to be developed and it has to be go very long way. And as it's a two end, so hope or this way or there will be another competitive tool may come, and those tools maybe help us to improvise this situation very better, right? And again, as I said, so there is a resource maybe slow the adaptation. So like, let's say like you can create a Kubernetes cluster or database you can create, but there will be a read replica you want to create. Still those kind of features is little beyond for the Crossplane, where Terraform can do it with some more customization. And right, so those kind of things it's expected, because already we have started adopting infrastructure as a code like a Terraform, which is providing a very robust feature, but Crossplane is coming with a just in the second layer or third layer still, and still there is a few more layers to cover. So those may come in a future very soon, but still then the adaptation may be slow, or people may still think about migrating to that, right? So they are already well aware of what this, so this kind of limitation may come. So what they did, so they are already working with the project called TerraJet, and which will be transforming your Terraform, whatever the play script you have, that will be converted for the Crossplane manifest. And still it's going on. There is a very much thing, and I can say few things are good for me as per my understanding. As again initial state, it may be going to be robust in a future. Okay. And another disadvantage here, so Terraform, you don't need to do any much installation or something. So it will be just like putting in things. You can just run a Terraform single command and it can run. But when it's coming like Kubernetes, the manifest, so there will be n number of custom resource definitions. You need to install it for the Crossplane. So let's say like a AWS. So for AWS, currently there is a 737 CRDs available, and you can't skip any of the CRDs, even that is not useful. And there is an open ticket for that, still that has to be addressed. But current status is you have to install all 737 CRDs. So which is so painful, right? It's very hard number, and there may be a little much slow on that side, but still beyond there will be a lacking point. Second thing, like a single point of failure, so they have to address it's very clear. Why? Because the first thing is cluster availability. So you need to make sure your cluster should be always available, otherwise you can't make any kind of input. Obviously you will be maintaining it, but again that's the one key thing we should be keep it in our mind, because it will be a Terraform, you can just run it from your local, but any other tools can be running from your outside of cluster or anywhere. But when it's coming Crossplane, you need to maintain everything within the cluster. So your cluster is key thing for your Crossplane adaptation. Second thing, how the Crossplane will manage. So you are already provision the Kubernetes cluster. On top of that, you need to install the Crossplane. So how the base Kubernetes cluster will be created. So you're gonna create it with your own private cloud, or you're gonna put it in existing production cloud, and how that Crossplane will be maintained, or do you will be modifying your script and you wanna put it inside this Crossplane again, there will be hyperloop you want to make it. So there is a big question again. So those still has to be addressed. how you gonna manage the underlying our initial setup of the Kubernetes, and after that how you gonna manage that. Are you gonna use a Terraform to provision a first layer of Kubernetes, and after that what all the change comes or infrastructure change comes, that will be handled by Crossplane? Or you gonna create the cluster manually first time? Are you gonna use the cloud-based solutions like Azure templates or configure cloud formation, any such tools? That is question mark, right? So how you gonna do that basic setup? On top of that, how the Crossplane will be handled, how the Crossplane going forward will be handled, such as hyperloop situations, right? So there will be a little much challenges, but again, it's maybe addressed in the future, or that may be a big drawback for the tool adaptation. But again, as I said, it's a still young stage, and we can't say like this is an end, but as this is a starting point. So they will be grown as per my understanding, and they are growing, and I can see people have started exploring about it. So as long the community grows, so we strongly believe this tool may be come with the very best thing. I'm not telling like a Terraform is not, it's going to be out of market, but there will be a big competition now, as there was a very little competition for the tool, and they got the best. They got a best uh, competition now, and hope they will also come with some better solution coming forward. So it's good to learn those kind of things for the future. All right, so this is just information about the Crossplane, and hope this may help you to understand what is Crossplane and how it's being used. So let's do one thing. So we can try to quickly install the Crossplane and see that how it will be look like. And also, if possible, we can try to just create one resource in Azure and see that how it will be, right? So also, if you are following us long time, so we have already covered this topic in our one of our blog. So this is our blog already we have covered. Whatever we discuss now, it's a pretty much in the document manner, it's been covered. So you can just read about it, and you can understand about the things whatever we discuss now. So hope this will be useful. So if you like, just share it with your friend, and you can share the knowledge with your friends and see that, hey, this is coming up, and you can learn it with your friend, and that may gain the knowledge for you and your friend both. All right, so I'm going to follow the same document to install the Crossplane. So let me log into my cluster quickly, and also I'm going to change the font as my font is too small. Let me change the font first. All right, so this should be looks good. So let me see my Kubernetes cluster. I didn't know. So ctl get ns, there is no ns currently, so I'm going to create a separate namespace for the Crossplane. So I'm going to name it as Crossplane only. So this will be my namespace, and then I'm going to add the Helm chart. So this is Helm chart. So this is already added to my thing, and I'm just going to update it whatever it's been. So it's getting update. So my Helm chart is up to date. I'm going to install the Crossplane now. So just aware about this thing, because I'm not using a default path, and the Crossplane has been installed. So how quickly we can check? So you can use helm list command -n Crossplane. Okay, so you can see it's been installed and updated on when and deployed successfully, and this is a version has been used. So let's see like what are the resources has been updated. kubectl get all -n Crossplane. So this will show all the resources part of Crossplane. So there is a 2 pod, and there is a deployment has been, and replica set has been created. So not only this, Crossplane comes with the CLI option. So the CLI is nothing but Crossplane. Also we added this. Sorry. Also we have added this step like how to install the CLI in the tutorial. You can just read the blog and you can make use of it. Okay, so this is what it does, and we have already created the repo for this. Let me quickly show you the repo. So it's on GitHub, FoxuTech. And if you go to the repositories, there is a first repo called Crossplane. So in the Crossplane, we have created the Azure one. So pretty much we are started covering Azure first place because we are mostly using Azure here. So you can see about the Azure resources, how can be created. Okay. So what I'm going to do, so I'm going to set up the initial setup for my cluster, and then I'm going to do the, sorry, okay, so I'm going to set up the basic setups which is needed for the Azure first, and then I'm going to do the let's create one of the resource and see how it will be look like, right? So that is what we want to see today. So let me pull the data for you. Give me a second. Okay. So one more thing. So if you want to use Azure or any other resources, something, so you need to first log into your Azure account because you want to pull some data for your Azure configuration. Okay. So I'm going to do the Azure login first to make sure I can run the commands parallelly. Let it allow my login and continue. So when you do AZ login, you have to put this in your browser and you have to confirm which account you are using and with this code. Okay. So once you do so, it will be allow you to log in. So once you done, so you can create the credentials. So the credential will be like this. As I have already these credentials in my path, I'm not going to do that, but I'll be explaining in another video how we can do that. So for now, I'm skipping this. I'm going to quickly create the secret. So the secret I'm going to follow. My file is inside root, Kubernetes, AKS, let's JSON. Sorry for the typo. kubectl. Okay. Sorry, there is one more missing point. Create secret. Where is correct? Sorry, there was some stupid typo. I made it. So the value will be like this, and this will create as a secret. And the path is, I'm going to change the path. This is slash start JSON. Okay, so now the secret has been created. So once the secret has been created, so we have to create the provider next. So let me show you the provider how it will be look like. So this will be under Kubernetes, sorry, not Kubernetes, it's Crossplane, and then it's on Azure, right? All right, so inside this, you can see there is a file called AZ provider. So this combines with the two files. Let me show what all that. The first one creates the Azure provider, and this is the API we are using, Crossplane direct one. We are not using anything extra. For now, skip these annotations. We'll be explaining in future videos, but this is a provider and this is the master, and this is for the provider config. In the provider config, we have to see which secret it has to use. As we are seeing Azure and we are creating Azure secret credential. If you are using AWS, you have to create for the AWS provider and you need to pass your provider config with AWS. You can have more than one provider, it doesn't matter. So like this, you have to define it first. Okay. So let's create this provider first and see that what happens. kubectl apply -f as the provider, and I'm gonna say create under Crossplane namespace. Let's keep it everything on the same namespace. So you may need to rerun this. Sometimes this won't pick as expected. So you can see that, and then you can run a command called kubectl get provider -n Crossplane. Okay. So with this, you can see still it's been creating. Still it's coming up. Could be in the status, right? So you can see it's been healthy, and now you can create any resources on Azure. Okay. So as I'm already in the folder, what I'm going to do quickly, I'm going to create the resource here. So let me show what is inside that. So inside the resource group, I'm going to create the rg-crossplane resource group, and this should be on ESTS. So before that, let's quickly check our Azure portal. So make sure there is no currently there is such a resource group, and then we'll see once it applied how it will be. And I'm gonna see the resource groups, and there is no resource groups called rg-crossplane, right? So let's save this file and let's quickly run this. kubectl apply -f resource group. Okay, so the resource group has been created, but it's not it. It's take little time. It's not a very quick process. So, but it can be, right? So resource group, and this is 2 and it's ready and sync. Let's see here. Oh, well, so you can see the RG Crossplane is ready and it's on USTS, and there is no deployment or anything so far. So with that, we understand how quickly or how better you can manage everything just with the kubectl command. You no need to learn anything additionally, and hope this is helpful, guys. So we'll see in the coming videos more robust, like how to create other resources, and let's explore it, right? So also we're gonna show you like how it can be done with the argocd, and we're gonna create the first, even the installation, no need to do it manually as we done here manual. So with argocd, we can explore it, how we can do everything with the argocd, and let's leave to the argocd to handle everything to that particular repository. All right, guys, hope this video is useful again. So if you like, please like, share, and share with your friends, so they will also gain such a great knowledge and to know about such a new tools in the market. So let's learn together and let's grow together. Thank you. Have a great day. Bye-bye.